I guess it was an emotional time for the game, to lose such a promising young player in extraordinary circumstance.
It is with deep sadness that Fox Sports brings you the news that Australian cricketer Phillip Hughes has died, aged 25. Hughes was struck in the head whilst batting for South Australia at the Sydney Cricket Ground on Tuesday. He was rushed to the intensive care unit of St Vincent's Hospital in Sydney. As a cricket community, we mourn his loss and extend our deepest sympathies to Phillip's family and friends at this incredibly sad time.
And to think that just a short while after his teammates were having to go out there and play, I mean, David Warner, who was so close to Phillip Hughes, to go and play the way that he did.
Thinking back to sort of the days leading into that was, there's a lot of sort of anxiousness, more along the lines of, should I be taking the field? As a team, should we be taking the field? I did try and go in the day before and I just walked straight back out. I just didn't feel like I wanted to be there. There's a lot of thoughts going through a lot of our heads, and we sat down with our psychologist, and each individual had their time with them and sort of spoke about the life of Phil and trying to have coping mechanisms to sort of be able to get back out in the field and get back in nets and train. And then I think sort of game day came, you're sort of in the back of your mind going, you know what, Phil just wants us to be out there and play. And I think that for me was sort of that coping mechanism that I sort of had in my mind. And walking out there, I still just thought he was out there going to be walking next to me.
And so, from the darkness of the past fortnight, David Warner and Chris Rogers lead the Australian cricketers into the Adelaide light.
Sort of when that first ball came down, it was almost like you know what, I don't care what happens here today. I'm doing this for my mate. And this whole game, this whole series is about our mate.
But what a way to move from mourning into almost the celebration of a life.
He's over-pitched, he's punched it down the ground. A glorious celebration for the life of Phil Hughes.
He works at leg side. That could well be it. First ball after the break, it will be. Test match 100 number 5 for Stephen Smith.
He's done something special. 28th Test century.
I think when you talk about how good the game was, I was nervous.
Oh, it's over-pitched. That's a big gap. And that is beautiful timing. Second Test match 100 in Australia, both at Adelaide.
Virat was batting unbelievably, I think. Mitch Marsh took a catch in the deep, I think, and typical Mitch Marsh fashion, instead of getting low down and catching like this, he's got low down and caught like that. And at that time, the sun was actually in his eyes, and I think I just stood there and watched the ball, and I'm there looking at this going, catch this, catch this, catch this, and then out of nowhere, you couldn't really see if he had caught or not, but you just see him standing up, running and charging, and the boys were just ecstatic.
Mitch Marsh hangs on to one. Virat Kohli, he cannot believe it.
That was a turning point of the game.
Bores one down the ground. It's mid off under, and has he got it? Yes, he'll swallow it.
And it was the best kind of tribute to their teammate to go out there and play so well themselves and to raise the bat and to get Australia a victory.
Sharma. He comes down. Oh, that's it! That's it! Nathan Lyon gets 7. What a performance!
The way that those players expressed themselves, firstly dedicated themselves to go out there and perform at the highest level, perform to the best of their capabilities, and to see the celebrations, I thought both teams just carried themselves to the highest level.
We just knew that he was sort of looking over us, and up the other end, little cheeky smile, sort of forgot about cricket and just was like we're out there playing a game with a bunch of friends in the park.
And in the end, Australia won that Test match. So obviously, there's some great cricket played, but obviously the backdrop was, Phillip's passing, but, he certainly won't be ever forgotten.
I think that's a beautiful memory, that game and all the imagery around it, and the fellowship of two teams celebrating a young man's passing. I think it was cricket at its finest.
I think they're some of the days that you look back on now that I've finished my career and go, you know what, could I have done anything different? Could I have celebrated a bit more? Could I have, cherished that moment more? But I think today now, thinking about that just sort of, brings a bit of a tear to my eye now, especially it's 10 years on and he's never forgotten, absolutely never forgotten. Doesn't matter what game I play, he's still with me. It's just it's an absolute tragedy and, we miss him, absolutely miss him.